we're changing wheel bearings on a 2015 2500 HD GMC. But you can't just replace a wheel bearing anymore. Now it's an entire hub assembly that you have to replace all together, one piece. So this will be fun. Let's get to it. Also, they weigh like 40 pounds each. This is kind of heavy. Getting my gains in today. Step one, brake nuts loose. Maybe I should have grabbed the impact for this job, but I forgot. So we get to do it the old school way, with our fingers. Shit. Try not to get your nuts too dirty. Now that you have your wheel off, you have a nice stool to work on. All right, what do we have to do here? So we're going to use a 13/16 wrench to take off the entire brake assembly here. I'm not left-handed. There we go. There's one. Oh, I'm bleeding. Okay. Okay. Got our cinder block to set our brake assembly on so it's supported and we don't mess up the line. Alright, so GM puts these weird Torx T30 screws in the rotor to lock it onto the hub. So I gotta take them out. Living in the good old Rust Belt in Michigan here, everything gets rusted together. Yeah. And then it gets really hard to come apart. Sometimes she just needs a little persuasion. Rotors in Michigan, or anything in Michigan. Oh, that's my shoulder, I don't need that. I'm gonna set this off to the side. So now I have to take the dust cover off the end of the assembly so that I can take the bolt off of the end of the shaft, the axle shaft. There you go. Got our dust cover off. Made sure to throw it in the sand, so since it's a dust cover, it's supposed to get dusty, right? Holy wah! The only spot in the truck that's not covered in rust. Get out the good old shin buster, my home defense weapon. 3/4 drive ratchet, a 1 5/16 inch socket. It feels like it shouldn't be that loose. Am I wrong? I wasn't expecting it to be that easy to remove. You hear that? You can really hear these clicks with this big 3/4 inch drive. Sounds like one of them chain hoists. Okay. Got the axle nut off. There we go. Now we're ready to take the mounting bolts loose off of this assembly. 13/16. Well, I don't think that's supposed to happen. Let's try again. I have a socket now. You're going to want a deep well 13/16 impact socket for this.
Hold pressure on the back of the socket. Put your thumb down on the ratchet so the ratchet can't bounce.
Shnikes. Oh, 11 years of being rusted into place.
They're like 3-inch long bolts.
There is a little bit of play in your axle shaft after you take the nut off, so if you need to push it out of your way a little bit, you can. 1. Number 2. Numero 3. 4. Thor.
Well, if the hub wasn't bad before, it is now.
It is now. There she goes. Try to catch it. There she goes, with the backing plate and all. She's got a little rusty over the years. Now we install the new 40-pound hub. I don't know if it actually weighs that much, but it weighs a lot. Ugh, backing plate first.
Lift it up.
Oh. Oh, there we go. All right. The new bolts have some Loctite on them already, so you shouldn't have to install anymore. So the bolts to bolt the hub assembly onto the knuckle get torqued to 133 foot-pounds. Ugh. Oh, okay. All right. And then do them all again, just to double check. That's why I got 3 moves on that one. See that one move too. That one didn't move. Okay. Now those are all torqued. Now I can put the axle nut back on. So I have to use the old axle nut because the new one doesn't want to thread onto the shaft, the axle. So I'm going to reuse the old one, which thankfully this time there's nothing wrong with it. The threads are still fine. It didn't get damaged taking it apart or anything. So I'm just going to reuse my old axle nut here and it'll be fine. So the torque spec for this axle nut is 188 foot-pounds. Okay, and the new hub is on. Now I got to hook up the wire back to the truck. All right, there we go. Now the new wire is run, the hub wheel bearing is all in, and we're good to go. Now I got to put the dust cover back on and the brake assembly. There's your rubber mallet. Ugh. Then we'll put this little screw back in to the hub. Oh, I broke the socket.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Stuff's hard to work on sometimes. This is why you use an impact socket for when you're hitting it with a hammer, because the chrome sockets can break.
Right there, put that bolt in on the top. Now I will turn the rotor and you can push that down into place.
How about that? Brilliant. I don't think the camera can see it because it's all over my face. Oh, that one's good and tight. And she's back together. There we go. You want to make sure when you torque your lug nuts to do it in a star pattern so that you're tightening the wheel evenly onto the hub. So we're going to drive around the block and check our torque again. And with these being brand new studs for the lug nuts, we're going to drive it around the block somewhere around 5 miles maybe, and then retorque them, recheck the torque. And voila! We have hub wheel bearing assembly changed on a 2015 GMC Sierra 2500 HD 6-liter gas engine. Thanks for watching. I had a lot of mistakes, and I hope you learned from my mistakes. I've learned from my mistakes. Try not to break your tools. It's not cool when you break tools, but hey, now I know what proper tools to use. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Goodbye.